Hello everybody, Zeidoktor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is going to be dedicated to Bleach, Chapter 669, Yaiba 2. And I mentioned this to you right before we started, but just for reference sake, Yaiba 1, or the first one to use this title, was back when Kenpachi was fighting Gremmy and he unleashed Shikai for the first time. That was Chapter 577. I think we just called it Sword at the time because that's what the kanji means. And
You know, and
that's actually unusual in itself. Before you sorry to interrupt you there, because usually the chapters are like in English, varying levels of comprehensibility. But in this case, they actually used the kanji for sword.
interesting thing is that it's been like what, nearly 200 chapters since the Shikai came out. Well, how long has it
100,
been?
100. I
Oh,
said
100, yeah, 100. Oh yeah, you said 200, which kind of
yeah.
I said
That
100.
was my bad. It's been almost as long as
Okay,
Dressrosa.
all right, so it's been about 100 chapters, right? So, um, what that means is, and how long? Okay, so of those 100 chapters, or roughly 100, how much has Kenpachi Shikai actually been in them? Like, because he used it against Grammy for like what, 2 chapters, and then he tried to use. Did he even use it against Ponita?
I don't think he did. I think going by how Byakuya and Hichigaya reacted, I'm sure we would have heard something from Mayuri if he had.
Huh.
So no, I don't believe we did.
So I mean, a lot of people were saying like, it's been 100 chapters that we got enough time with the Shikai. I said, well, not really, because of those 100 chapters, I don't feel like his Shikai's been a big part of it. We've been switching around so much that again, that's why I really felt that his Shikai just felt kind of, it wasn't fleshed out enough for me.
Yeah.
I wanted more time with the Shikai, get used to that Kenpachi, and then we move on to the next stage.
Yep.
So anyway,
as the chapter proper begins, like see Yatsuro kind of like patronizing Ken-chan a little bit. He can be such an adorable dolt sometimes. That power is Bankai. And we get like an entire page dedicated to Bankai, Yaiba 2, stuff blowing up.
We just spent the last 2 pages summing up literally the last page of the previous chapter. This is exactly what pisses me off, is that he did this again with the Kenpachi getting back up, is that he is recapping pages that we've already seen.
Yep, and then we get some more stuff blowing up. Then we get Kenpachi all hulked out, like his skin has changed color. I think he said it was supposed to be red.
Yeah. It's supposed to be red, which is actually Red Hulk, because there is a Red Hulk.
Yeah. And like his minions is Ikaku and Yumichika. Like, did that just happen? And then Yumichika's noticing that Kenpachi's turned red.
So basically, we have Gerard Gigantor basically making fun of Kenpachi's Bankai, because that's never happened before. And then we get, I mean, if you remember, that's what Byakuya said, something about Ichigo's Bankai, when he's like, it was a little tiny sword.
Yep.
But when you do that in Bleach and in any shonen manga or anime, if you belittle someone's new ability, you can get screwed over, man.
In no time at all.
And they keep doing this, right? I mean, they do that a lot. The Quincy's do that a lot. So
yeah, and I think he's also noticing that the sword is still mangled, because I guess it's still broken in pieces. Somehow I don't think.
Yeah.
Because you can tell like it's been broken at the top half there.
Yeah, I remember that. Was it broken before the Bankai transformation?
I think it was broken when Kenpachi first got his deflected attack a couple chapters ago.
Okay.
Remember, I noted that. Remember, like he nicked the sword, it bounces back on him, and in that time I also noticed the sword seemed to have broken too.
So the sword itself doesn't change, right? Is it just Kenpachi?
That's what it looks like.
Huh. Interesting. So basically, he proceeds to punch Kenpachi, and you see Kenpachi's face basically turning into like a demon. You know what this reminds me of? Blanca from Street Fighter.
I was gonna say Akuma.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. Though, also, in a reference I know you're not going to get, but I'm going to bring up anyway, the fact that he turns red also reminds me of the Berserk status from Final Fantasy VI. The reason for that is because you lose control of your character, they gain a powerful attack boost, do nothing but auto attack, and their skin turns red.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is.
And so he proceeds to basically catch the Gigantor's arm and rips the entire thing off.
Right out of the socket.
Wow, we haven't seen limbs being ripped off before. Although I will say this is kind of the angle of it makes it seem awesome because it's just like, what the frick? Of course,
it's like DC.
We all know
it's like DC versus Mortal Kombat. Or Marvel versus Mortal Kombat, probably more accurate.
Yeah. So we have.
Wait, there you go. Marvel versus Street Fighter. To Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. There we go.
So then we have Gigantor backing off and saying, you know, this is not helping you. I'm going to regenerate and become stronger because that's his ability. But then before he even has a chance to do that, Kenpachi attacks again and breaks his shield.
Cuts
it in half. Yeah.
Kenpachi's like, no.
You can see that he actually looks like a Oni from the
bottom
left panel.
He's even got horns there. It almost looks like. Right when he breaks his shield, the bottom left panel. I mean, I think it's just his hairline, but at the same time, it does look like horns.
Definitely.
Yep. Also, someone mentioned before, I saw like a quick little forum post, like that little thing on his forehead. It looks almost like it could be a third eye.
Oh, could be, but I mean, I think the whole point of the horns is just to make him look like a demon, because that's basically what he is, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and then he's getting so Ryuken so hard he's flying off the edge of the place, which is exactly what Ichigai was afraid of, which is why he's like yelling about it. But Kenpachi, a man to his word, is going right down there and, well, actually Gigantor grows wings first. He drank his Red Bull. That's why I started.
Interesting that he grows wings because the last time we saw angelic wings was when they all got like resurrected by Yuha-Bak's ability. Remember when they were all defeated by the Royal Guard? That was the last time any of them had wings. And they got those wings and they became more powerful. But that's not the Volstandig, because we know like Askin, right?
Right.
He had the angel wings too, but when he used his Volstandig, it became like the other Volstandig. It was like a sharp type of wing.
He turned into a JoJo character.
So the wings, I guess, are just it's something that you can summon, but that doesn't mean he can go Volstandig. He's not yet, at least.
Right. I think they even said he doesn't have it, didn't they?
There's an implication that he might not have it because of his connection to the Soul King.
Yeah. And Gigantor's
Gigantor's
pretty much going to full villainous breakdown here, just because now that he's actually seen something that can match him, he's like freaking the hell out.
Yeah. So basically, he summons a sword and tries to attack Kenpachi. And you know what's funny is that he's like, this is for a mere Shinigami to be able to corner me like this. You know, even in my worst nightmares, such an absurd farce could never happen. Gee, way to be different from Lilibaro. Way to be different, man.
Yeah, the only thing he's lacking is a Tweety Bird voice.
I mean, really, I'm kind of, I totally get it. Look, I get it. The powerful villains who get overconfident within themselves, it makes sense, and they all have this fetish with angels and holiness, like very Nazi-like, you know. But at the same time, I mean, I swear, if the next villain is like, you cannot defeat me because you're a mere Shinigami, I'm gonna freaking crush the freaking computer screen. Not really, but
no,
I would feel like doing so.
Well, you have to remember, given what the next fight's likely to be, it'll probably be something more along like lines of, "You cannot defeat me because you are a mere half-blood."
Yeah, it probably would be like that because it wasn't like this Hashwell's the next one, right?
Hashwell and Ishida, I think, are the only two left.
Yeah, Hashwell is not the type to like yell out saying, "I will defeat you." Unless at the same time, though, he made me because Aizen would be the type of guy who would never talk, but at the last moment when he was defeated,
wait. Did you just say Aizen was the type who never talks? What have you been watching?
No. I meant never rants like the way he talks a lot, but he talks monotonely, you know, like confident. But he would never be the type to scream and say "ha ha" or not be like Gigantor basically, because Gigantor would have a habit of just like mouthing off.
Isn't that what happened when he actually started getting beaten though?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, when he started getting beaten, he broke that and started like yelling at Uruhara and it's saying, you work for that thing and all that stuff. So, Aizen talks a lot. I kind of misspoke. He does talk a lot, but he talks in a very monotonish, like he's not really ranting. He's just talking normally. with Gigantor, it's like a ranting about how powerful you are and saying I am more powerful than anyone. Yeah, and kind of yelling it. Well, Aizen just talks about it. It's annoying when he does it too, but it's a little different. But when he did get beat, he did lose it. So Hashwald does talk less than Aizen, but he might also lose it if he starts losing his in the fight. That lose it if he starts losing. That's kind of weird phrasing, but yeah, you know what I mean.
I get the idea.
Yeah, so Kenpachi just decides to strike him in. He does this really weird turn. I don't know. I don't know if it's like the angle of the panel, just the way it, like, if he's actually turning or the panels itself is turning, like the quote unquote camera is turning. But basically, we have a sideways view of Kenpachi slashing Gigantor in half, and that is the end of the chapter.
Yep.
I mean, it's a fight. It's a fight chapter, so it's not that. I don't expect heavy dialogue. It's just that I feel like 2 more pages of just slashing would be okay.
I mean,
because
I think only like
the previous...
only 2 pages had dialogue, but yeah, all the dialogue is pretty much coming from Gerard.
Well, the problem is that each page has big panels, but not many panels. Like few, big but few. So like a lot of people in the comment section feel like it was kind of short, and the reason why is because a lot of people say, well, it's because of the fighting. It's like, no, you can still get a lot out of just pure fighting chapters. It's that the panels are way too big, so it's so easy to just read this chapter in like 5 seconds, you know. So that's why I said, like, you know, I wish that the chapters had smaller panels and more panels on them, but it doesn't have to be dialogue. It just has to be more slashing, more jumping around. That way we can feel like there's more stuff happening. And I'm not saying putting more dialogue, just put more slashing. I'm okay with that, you know.
Yeah, there's more
there's too many big panels.
More activity.
More activity. Okay, so for me in the comment section, the Bankai itself is very polarizing. I've seen people hate it. I've seen people like it.
My biggest complaint would just be how it came by so relatively fast.
You mean like how she's just like, hey, here's a Bankai, right?
Well, that, and plus he learned Shikai like not even a day ago.
Yeah, well, that unfortunately, again, as I said in my last review, he wrote himself into a corner. The whole arc is probably going to take place over like 2 days or 3 days, because I know like a few days.
It's supposed to be. I was reminded at the very beginning we had that prophecy of 9 days.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time has actually passed from then.
Well, at most it gets a week, right?
Yeah.
Like a little more than a week. So the Bankai is supposed to take like 100 years. So obviously he's skipping that. I know it's Kenpachi. I know he's the.
And we kind of discussed this before. Like he was kind of doing things backward in the first place.
Yeah, he was doing things backwards. So I mean, look, I think the problem is not that he's getting the Bankai. It's the problem that everyone else is showing their Bankai in like very short span.
Right.
Because we just got Urahara's Bankai, and we got Kyoraku's Bankai, and we got Rukia's Bankai, and we have Renji's new Bankai. So it's just a lot of Bankais. And, oh yeah, we got Mayuri's new Bankai too. It's just a lot of Bankais to take in. I think that's the thing. Kenpachi's a weirdo. I'll say that. So I'm not as really strict on that one. I will say though that a lot of people are complaining that they think it's too simple because it's just again increasing his. It seems to be just increasing his ability of attacking.
That I do not mind.
I do not. Yeah, well, let me explain further. So the other side is saying, well, it makes sense because that's Kenpachi, right?
Yeah, that's my thought.
And I think. What I say is that it makes sense for a Shikai. I feel like for a Bankai, it should be something. He's still in that realm, but a little twist to it. And there's a guy who actually did a perfect possible explanation of his abilities, where he gets stronger. The sword gets stronger by how much blood it tastes.
Yeah.
So the more he cuts and the more blood he makes contact with, the stronger the sword. And it's because it's drinking the blood.
Right.
So it's literally like making Kenpachi bloodthirsty as well as his sword.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like, yeah, I can see that as a good way to make the power work, especially with how he's turning red and everything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, the red thing, right? And maybe it can even work with his own blood too. Like if he gets cut, he can still taste his own blood. So it works either way. And it makes sense because remember when Kenpachi fights, he doesn't even care if he gets hurt, right? It's just fighting. So that new type of ability would work. In terms of Kenpachi's simplistic nature, which is increased attack power and all that stuff, but also still have a little twist to make it just not so bland, Right. Make it in a very like a metaphor, bloodthirsty, but make it literal and do the same thing that everyone wants Kenpachi to do, which is basically go berserk. Yeah. So I mean that's the thing though. It just seems like I feel like just increasing the attacking power is even for Kenpachi a little too bland. Like it's just like, especially if that's already his Shikai. You know, I know it's it's an extension of a Shikai, but rather than just adding +5 to your stats, I feel like this would be a little more special to that.
Yeah. I can see that.
Again, that explanation is actually really good. I really want that one to happen because I think it makes perfect sense. Literally a bloodthirsty sword.
Of course, my concern is whether we'll get an explanation to this at all. But that, if we are, it's probably going to come next chapter, maybe through Yachiru, maybe.
Yeah. So I wonder if okay. So a lot of people say, well, is Jera going to use his Volstending? I said, well, I don't know if he will because remember he's part of the Soul King, and so far Pernita didn't use Volstending. Right?
I think Askin even said he doesn't even have a Volstending.
Asking, right? Yeah, maybe. I know. Maybe he might have mentioned that. I
remember
it's been a while.
It was the same speech that mentioned he was part of the Sword of the Soul King.
Yeah. So if he doesn't have it, then yeah. But of course, even if he does, I'm sure Kenpachi what he'll do is instead of using one hand, he'll use 2 hands like last time. 2-handed Bankai, man.
Nothing like it.
Yeah, I mean, we've always thought about how powerful he gets, but it's interesting.
Like I said, people have complained about the 2-handing, but I've always loved that particular bit.
I thought that was funny. I just thought that was funny.
I thought it was just so Kenpachi. It's right there, like it's exactly with his personality.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, there's not a lot going on for this chapter, so there's not really much for us to really review here, other than just wondering what's going to happen next. I mean, I don't know if this is like the finishing blow for Zeidoktor, if we've got at least another round to go here.
He's not done.
Yeah.
There's no way. And I have a question too.
Mm-hmm.
This includes Pernita.
Okay.
There is no way they're dead, because their significance as part of the Soul King is way too important to the plot for them to be just finished off like that. So maybe they're doing something where maybe even though they're dead, their bodies can still be used to power up something. You know, like remake the Soul King or something. Because it makes no sense for them to be like, hey, look, these are the Soul King's heart and left hand, and then just forget about them later. You know?
Yep.
I feel that's too plot relevant for them to just be gone like that.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't put it past anyone to just forget about them, but at the same time, you are right. I mean, there's probably some significance left to go here.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way he's gonna cut this fight short. We all know Kubo. He knows he wants to drag everything out as possible. The fight's gonna last a bit longer.
Yeah.
I like how some people think Kubo's trying to rush it. That makes me laugh. He's not rushing it at all.
We discussed this. Like, this whole Quincy thing is taking over a quarter of the manga.
Well, yeah, because he said that he was planning to make his last arc 10 years. Like, he's not rushing it. Why would he rush? And people say, oh, he wants to rush it so he can get the payday. It's like, he's making money as he's writing it. What do you not know how the business works?
That removes the incentive to rush it.
Yeah, I don't understand how people could think that. He's making... If he doesn't make money as he's making it, how is he getting paid right now? Like, if he only gets paid until the end of like a certain amount of, I don't see how they can understand that. You get paid when you finish the manga. That means they get paid nothing until then. There's no way that works.
Yeah. So at this point, that's pretty much our review. I think of Bleach 669 Yaiba 2. Not really, like I said, not really a whole lot going on here with it, other than what we discussed already. Stuff blowing up, Bankai, slicing, Mortal Kombat! And we're good. Right. Before we go, did you want to mention to go over to Kickstarter at all? There'll still be a few days left before we...
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, if anyone...
Sure, okay.
For anyone who didn't see the video posted last week, right before the review came out, there's a Kickstarter going right now for the Shoujo manga anime skip beat to get a proper English dub. At the time of this recording, there's 6 days left on it. It's like at 137,000 of 155 goal. By the time these videos come out on Tuesday, there should still be a couple days left on it, so you'll be able to go ahead and get some support in if you want.
The deadline is Saturday, April 16th, 8:58 a.m. Pacific time. There's a lot of rewards you can get. If we can make 185k, we can get a Blu-ray combo for the rewards that they give out, and also for the retail later on. And it's a really cool Kickstarter because unlike like I know the Vision of Esclafoni Kickstarter has a lot of stuff going on because there's not enough transparency. The creator for this one is like constantly on the forums, comments, talking with you, getting information. I mean, she's a really cool person, and she even has like everything listed out saying where all your money's going. And the fact is, shoujo anime doesn't sell well. The anime industry doesn't think that shoujo sells well, right? And they have unfortunately they have history to back that up. So I think this is a chance to prove them wrong and get something out there, because I think shoujo can be a success, especially something like Skippy, which is very popular, has a pretty good fan base. I mean, we've given a lot of love to shonen anime for so long, and the shonen anime won't die. So let's give shoujo anime a chance to get on equal footing. And this Kickstarter would be a great way of doing it. And if anything, let's just $1 would be great. Anything would be appreciated just to help out. Because we need. There's already over 1,000 people backing up. So
yeah, didn't they actually pass the 1,000 mark today, Friday, or Saturday?
Yeah, it just today just passed the 1,000 mark today. So
cool. Yeah, so like I said, by the time this video posts, there should be at least 4 more days left on the. 3 to 4 more days left on the Kickstarter. So there'll be a link in the description for anybody who's curious about it, and I'll try and remember to add an annotation to this video as well about the either to the Kickstarter link itself or just to your video on the Kickstarter, either way on that. Right, but in the meantime, that has been our Bleach 669 review on our shameless skip beat promo plug. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye!